here we go. All right, everybody. Come find your place at your mat. Oh, excited to be here today. We'll start by chanting Om and Shanti. Going to use the mantra as a tool, as always, to help create some peace, create some space, and give us the ability to learn something. If you just want to listen, that's fine. We're going to chant from our chant books, page 5, number 13. In Sanskrit, it's Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Nirai Maya, Sarve Bandrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Vedic prayer. May all be happy. May all be free from sickness. May all look to the good of others. May none suffer from sorrow. We'll do call and response. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya. Together. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bandrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. Together. Sarve badrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. And then we'll do it all together. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve badrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve badrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. Om. That's very beautiful. We're going to turn to the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras next, and we're going to look at, from the second book, the chapter on practice. It's the Sadhana Pada, and we're going to look at 235, which is on page 15. Towards the bottom of the page, Yoga Sutra 2.35. Patanjali explains to us, Ahimsa pratistayam tat sanidau vaira tyagaha. When you stop harming others, others will cease to harm you. Ahimsa pratistayam. Together. Ahimsa pratistayam tat sanidau vaira tyagaha. Vaira tyagaha. Ahimsa pratistayam tat sanidau vaira tyagaha. Ahimsa pratistayam tat sanidau vaira tyagaha. Om. Let's hear what BKS Iyengar has to say on this sutra in his book, Light on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Ahimsa, non-violence, harmlessness, non-injury. Pratistayam, standing firmly established. Tat, his. Sanidao, presence, vicinity. Vaira, animosity, hostility. Tyagaha, forsaking, abandoning, deserting. When nonviolence in speech, thought, and action is established, one's aggressive nature is relinquished, and others abandon hostility in one's presence. Yoga Sutra 2:35 through 39 describe the effects of observing the 5 yamas. When the yogi has thoroughly understood the nature of violence, he is established firmly in the practice of nonviolence. Peace in words, thoughts, and deeds, whether awake or dreaming, and a sign of goodwill and love towards all. In the vicinity of a yogi, men and animals who are otherwise violent and anticipate towards and are antipathetic towards each other abandon their hostility and exhibit friendliness and mutual tolerance. In this first yama, Ahimsa, it's saying to establish nonviolence, not just in yourself, but more importantly, that you are against it, what you see out in the world, and that you want to help promote and establish this nonviolence. I think in the situation we are in right now, where there's a new awareness of the BLM movement and the passing of George Floyd, and there's this new conversation, it feels different than it ever has been before. I feel like I am a student of it now, and I understand it better than I ever have. And I feel empowered because of that. It gives me a sense of steadiness, gives me a sense of joy, and that I can begin to be part of the movement, part of the conversation. And that it's okay to be a beginner student to this conversation. It's okay to not understand everything yet, but I can educate myself. And I think social media is a great tool because there's a lot of educators out there. There's a lot of people who are trending right now in their conversations on this matter. And all I have to do is follow some of these people and be a student and listen. In Sharon and David's book on practices for liberating the body and soul, highly recommend this book. They break down the same sutra. They say it's in the chapter on Ahimsa. Pratistayam, on confirmation of Ahimsa, mental waves of non-injury, non-violence. Sanidao, presence. Tat, his. Hostility is Vaira. Tyagaha, all living beings, give up. When mind stuff is firmly based in the waves of Ahimsa, non-injury, all living beings cease their enmity in the presence of such a person. Injurious ways and malice kill the natural power of mind stuff. The waves of this injurious mind cause injury, knowingly or unknowingly. When these injurious waves are removed and the mind is established in ways of non-injury, these waves radiate in all directions. Before such a yogi, all living beings forget their hostilities. Ahimsa means harming. Ahimsa means non-harming. There are 3 classes of ahimsa, or harm. Number 1, physical, by body and instruments, including war. 2, vocal, by speaking against others, including psychological warfare. And 3, mental, by thinking against others. Abstinence from all types of injury is called ahimsa. This term is used without adjective. It includes every type of injury because it is used in a broad sense. One cannot injure others without first injuring oneself, because injury is the result of psychological planning. Vocal injury is more serious than physical, and mental injury is the most serious. By physical injury, one can destroy only physical forms. By vocal injury, one can destroy both physical and mental forms. By mental injury, one can destroy even the form of spirit. Consequently, one will go to lower transmigration. And that's from Sri Brahmananda Saraswati's, the textbook on yoga psychology. So it's amazing. The very first teaching in Jivamukti is Ahimsa, right? We have been given this beautiful doctrine of the 8-limb system of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. One needs the other. You can't be enlightened if you don't establish yourself in nonviolence. The yamas are really the beginning of the conversation, and it's about how we act out in the world. Doesn't say worry about yourself first. It says no, first be concerned with those others. And then the yamas say once you've established that, then you can begin to clean up your own house. Right? You can begin to shine your own mirror. So Ahimsa is really powerful right now. Nonviolence is very powerful right now. Here in San Francisco, there's a huge demonstration that started at Mission High, right across from Dolores Park, by a 17-year-old high school student, activist, and it's so beautiful. And that's what I see out there right now. I see all ages, all backgrounds. Everyone is beginning to have this conversation where we're just quieting down and becoming students of those who have been fighting this fight for a long time. And it's okay to be ignorant to the cause if you haven't really invested in it yet. It's okay to be a beginner student to this because there's so much education out there. I'm learning so much right now because I've opened up to it more than I ever have before. And I think what I've understand mostly is that keep the focus on this moment. Keep the focus on this conversation. Don't dumb it down with bringing other things into it. Of course, everyone cares about everyone else, but this is focusing on a specific subject of nonviolence towards people of color. That's what we're talking about today. We can talk about the other things later. There's time for that. But just let's slow down and be in this moment so we can begin and continue this conversation. People who have been experiencing this their whole lives, they never get a day off from it. They never get to take a break from it. It's every day. So I don't want to take a break from it. I don't want to have a day off from it. I want to establish my nonviolent practice, as I always do, as a yogi, and I want to begin to open up this conversation of nonviolence towards people of color. So I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to completely fuse in with our yoga teachings, but I feel like it's just part of what we're always learning and teaching, So, yeah, that's where we're going to start today. I'm excited. I was on a call this morning with Ruth Lauer Manente. She gave a beautiful talk on yoga and about what we're going through. And she asked at the end of the call, she said, hey, how's it going in San Francisco? And I told her what was going on here. And I said, you know what, maybe about 3-4 days ago, I was feeling really kind of disheartened, uncomfortable, off balance, disconnected. And in that moment of being uncomfortable, I solidified. I found stability. I found my voice. I found what I felt I could do in this moment. And I said, for that reason, I feel comfortable enough to have this conversation. I feel like it's okay to be uncomfortable also. And that it's okay to not say the perfect thing. It's okay to maybe be a little sloppy in this conversation, but to stay in it no matter what. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to quiet down and just listen. If everybody can do that, I think we're going somewhere. I think this is a new conversation, and I think all of our brothers and sisters who need us, who've always needed us, we're going to be happy to see us side by side with them now. So that's where I'm at today. Let's come and set up on our yoga mat for our practice today. And the thing I always love about Sharon and David, it was never about take the practice off your mat, It's like your words, your thoughts, your deeds, on the mat, off the mat, it's all the same. Don't try to separate the two. So let's start here in Tadasana, in front of the mat, hands to prayer in front of your heart. Close your eyes. And make a dedication of your practice. I'm going to offer my practice today just to all the teachers in my lives right now who are here to educate me about this Black Lives Matter movement, so that I can stay the course with them and not feel like I can't handle it. So I'm just going to say love and blessings up to the beautiful people coming together right now to share our voice, to take a knee for George Floyd and all the others before him. And let's keep this conversation going. Begin your Ujjayi breathing, audible breath. And your exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, hook your thumbs, bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, folding forward with bent knees. Interlace your hands behind you and draw your arms long overhead. Inhale, place your hands down. Step back with your right foot into lunge, look up. Exhale your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. You're going to exhale, bend the elbows a little bit or a lot for chaturanga. Keep the elbows close to the body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, seat is high. Inhale, push through to a low cobra. And then through bent knees, push your seat to your heels. Come back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward into lunge. Exhale, left foot meets the right, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees slightly, hook your thumbs. Bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, folding forward with bent knees. Interlace your hands behind, draw your arms long. Inhale, place your hands down. Step back with your left foot into lunge, look up. Exhale your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, bend the elbows a little bit or a lot, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, seat is high. Inhale, push through to a low cobra. Through bent knees. Push your seat to your heels, come back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward into lunge. Exhale, right foot meets the left, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees slightly, hook your thumbs. Bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, release your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And just pausing here for a moment. You know, what Patanjali is telling us in the sutra, in the second book, 35th Sutra, is that we will become approachable. People will not be afraid to be in our presence. We will be a place of nonviolence that will be attractive to others. And if they are feeling hostility, they are feeling violence in our presence, it will just fall away. And they will join our nonviolent, peaceful stance. When you exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, hook your thumbs, bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, folding forward with bent knees, interlace your hands behind, draw your arms long. Inhale, hands down, right foot back, look up. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, push through to a low cobra. Through bent knees, push your seat to your heels, come back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lightly step the right forward. Exhale, left foot meets the right, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees slightly, hook your thumbs. Bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, folding forward with bent knees. Interlace your hands behind. Draw your arms long overhead. Inhale, hands down. Left foot steps back into lunge. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, seat is high. Inhale, push through to a low cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward into lunge. Exhale, right foot meets the left, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees slightly. Hook your thumbs. Bring your hands forward and overhead, arch back. Exhale, release your hands to prayer. Close the eyes. Pause in action. This is one of the reasons that meditation is so powerful, because it makes us go into listening mode. Makes us become quiet in our actions, our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. We take a pause, a reset. It's the best thing we can do for our nervous system, which provokes nonviolence. Settling everything down. And then from the place of meditation, we can listen. We can move into that deeper listening to see the soul, but we can also begin to hear the conversation that's happening around us. And maybe start in a place where you're uncomfortable, and then move to a place where you are comfortable. But stay in the conversation. Meditate. Exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up, awkward pose. Exhale, diving forward. Place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lightly step your right foot forward. That means with no sound. Lift the prayer up, warrior one. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, consciously, lightly, step the left foot forward, lightly. Turn the right heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, lightly step the right foot forward, lift the prayer overhead, first warrior pose. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Lift the prayer up, warrior one. Exhale, place your hands down, step back, slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe here. Child's pose is always an option if you need to take it. Exhale, 5, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump between your hands, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, hands to prayer. Again, practice pausing in action, practice being a witness, practice listening to what others are saying, being part of that conversation. Right? It doesn't have to have anything to do with my experience. I can empty out and just be a place for listening. That can be our place of strength and power. In action. Don't take any action at all except passively. Right? Listen. Observe. Be a student. All right, on your next exhale, you're going to release your arms down, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer, Utkatasana. Exhale, diving forward, place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, turn your left heel down. Lift the prayer overhead, warrior one. And we're going to hold here. So in Jivamukti Yoga, we're coming from our kind of tradition and lineage of teachings and teachers. And when we take warrior one, we place our hands together in prayer. It's specific, it's for a reason. It's a mudra, right? We're creating energy by placing palms together. It's a prayer, asking for something. You could adjust the prayer as high as you want, as low as you want. Try to relax shoulders. And then look for your gaze place, right? Inhale. Exhale, one. Soft forehead. Inhale. Exhale, two. Help me practice nonviolence. That could be my prayer. Inhale. Exhale, three. And my words, thoughts, and deeds. Exhale, five. From here, you're going to inhale, straighten your right leg. We're now going to turn it around for warrior one on the left side. So face the opposite direction. On the exhale, you're going to bend your left knee. If you want to kind of reset the prayer, place your palms together. Lift the prayer to the appropriate gaze place. If you always do it like this, you've got some other style. You know what? You can do it another time. Today, try the Anjali Mudra, the prayer. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Getting ready for warrior two on the left side. Inhale a breath. Exhale, open the arms wide. Second warrior pose. Now I know when I move into this pose, I sometimes need to separate my feet a little bit further apart so I can really get into that front knee, bend it. Keep the weight in the back leg as kind of an anchor to then reach in both directions. Find your gaze over the middle finger or close the eyes. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. Exhale, two. Inhale. Exhale, three. Inhale. Exhale, four. Inhale. Exhale, five. Inhale, straighten your left leg. And bring your hands to the hips for the transition. We're now going to turn to the right side so we can do second warrior on the right side. Arms up. Exhale, bend your right knee. Okay, make sure you have enough space between the feet so you can really anchor the pose of that back leg and bend the front knee enough that you can bring the front thigh parallel to the floor. Complete the pose with your gaze, one pointed focus. Think of it as a meditative pose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more breath, breathing in and breathing out. From here, you're going to step or jump to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to prayer. Again, put value on pausing in action. Put value on closing your eyes. Right? Moving into a receptive mode where you're watching, you're listening. Not so concerned about your small self or what you need to add to the conversation. You know, sometimes not saying anything at all is the most powerful way to be in that conversation. Just listen. Watch what others are there to teach you about. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next inhale, you're going to step or jump wide to the right. You're going to turn your right toes towards the back wall, left toes in. Inhale the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, reach forward and down for triangle pose. Lightly place your right hand down as you reach up to the left side. Bring your gaze to the hand above or something not moving. Inhale. Inhale a breath. Exhale, extend the left arm up and over the ear. Option, 3 more breaths here, or bring right arm parallel to the left. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, release the right hand down, left arm up. Inhale, come all the way up. And bring your hands to your hips, change position of the feet. Left toes forward, right toes in. Inhale the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, reach forward and down. Again, strong, active legs. Lightly place the left hand down. Reach up through the right side. Look for your meditative mood. Hold and breathe here. Inhale a breath. Exhale, right arm comes on the diagonal. 3 more breaths here, optional. Left arm parallel to the right. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, release left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, come all the way up. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Pause in action. Breathe. Relax and let go. I'm finding that as much as I can remove my ego from this conversation, the more I'm able to listen and hear what the conversation is about. I don't have to add my experience. I don't have to relate it to something in my life. Instead, I can just be a pure student, one with an empty cup who's ready to be filled. That's how I feel empowered in this moment. That's how I feel like I am going to be a true ally in this movement. On your exhale, release your arms down. From here, we're going to take a little standing balancing pose, not Rajasana. It's dancing Shiva. You know, Shiva is the destroyer. He's the one that removes the darkness. He's the one that removes the ignorance, the misidentification. And in the place of that, when he creates that space by destroying it, there's then place to learn. There's place for light to come in. There's places for non-violence to come in. So, start with the gaze, place something eye level, not moving. You're going to bend your knees for stability to begin. Bend your right knee, grab hold of the right ankle, extend the left arm up. From here, you're going to inhale, lift your right knee as high as you can, and then exhale, begin to stretch out in all directions. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. It's a joyful dance. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, come up, knees together. Release the foot to the floor. Give everything a little shake out if you need to. And then think of one thing that you're ignorant about. One thing you would like to remove so that wisdom could take its place. Think of the words of St. Francis. It's better to understand than to be understood. That's the ignorance I want to work on here. So you're going to bend both knees. Look for your gaze place. Bend the left knee this time. Grab hold of the left ankle. Bring the right arm up. Inhale, bring your left knee as high as you can. And then exhale, begin to expand out in all directions. I want to understand. That could be the mantra for today. Help me understand. Open up my experience of not having to contribute to the conversation, but just listen to it today. Non-action can be the most powerful action. Come on, Shiva, help me out. And then inhale, come up. Release the foot to the floor. Give everything a little shake out. Step or jump to the front of the mat. Hands to prayer. Let's do an Om here together. The Great Eraser. Inhale a breath. You know, these practices can be as powerful as you want them to be. We always talk about getting better biceps. You'll get them. Those will come with the practice. But it's deeper than that. We're just getting better biceps so that we can stay steady, comfortable in our seat, in our place. So we can then handle the conversation. If we're uncomfortable, it's okay to be uncomfortable. Right? We can still sit and be part of the conversation. And then I promise you, if you stay with the practice and you stay with your steadiness, the uncomfortability will begin to move. and peace will take over. On your exhale, release your arms down. On inhale, you're going to bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up, Utkatasana. Exhale, awkwardly twist to the right side. From here, you want to keep your knees together and square. Create the bind of the elbow to knee. Take a twist, look over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, look down, keep the twist. On inhale, you're going to step your left foot back into lunge. If you want to bring the back knee to the floor, that's a good idea. Otherwise, keep the knee lifted. Keep the hands in prayer. Keep the twist this way. Or you can take your left hand to the outside of the right foot to the floor. Extend the top arm up and over the ear or come into your full bind. Hold and breathe wherever you are. And you're going to look down, keep the twist, hands back to prayer. On inhale, step your left foot next to the right. Keep the twist on the exhale. Inhale, bring the prayer center. Exhale, stand. Pause in action. Gaze at fingertips or close the eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's try the other side. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, lift the prayer up, awkward pose. Exhale, awkwardly twist to the left side. Again, look at your knees. Try to keep them together. Take the twist from here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale a breath here. Exhale, look down. Keep the twist as you inhale. Step the right foot back. Again, if you want to bring the back knee to the floor, that's always a good idea. If you want to take an arm variation, right hand to the outside of the left foot to the floor. Extend the top arm up and over the ear. Come into your bind. Hold and breathe here. Inhale for 5. Exhale, look down, hands to prayer. Exhale a breath here. Keep the twist. Inhale, step your right foot next to the left. Keep the twist on the exhale. Inhale, bring the prayer center, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs. Hands to prayer and just close your eyes. You know, the asana practice I found is a tool, a spiritual tool to help me feel more comfortable in this body. You know, so I can then find my seat easily. If it is in this conversation, I can sit down and be quiet and listen. So you want better biceps, you get them. You want to use this vehicle for something more profound, that's an option. Remember that yama, it's about others. Non-violence, the first yama, ahimsa, is about others and non-violence. So we are established in ahimsa, non-violence, and then those that we encounter will be affected by our peacefulness, our steadiness. It's so beautiful. It's meaningful if you want it to be. All right. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the prayer overhead. Exhale, folding forward, place your hands down. Inhale, come to a flat back, look up. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. From here, you're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. Try to keep the weight equally in your hands and back heel. If you want to open the hip, bend the left knee, open the hip. You can look underneath the left armpit. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten your left leg, square the hips. On inhale, roll forward to plank position. Bring your left knee towards your nose. And then you're going to bring your left shin as parallel to the front of the mat as you can. And if your hip doesn't reach the floor, prop the hip. Use something that's going to help bring stability in the seat of the pose. So for me here, my hips are feeling pretty open today, but if I was really up like this, I could place a blanket here. Maybe I'll just use that today. It feels pretty good. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Bring your chest and chin to the floor. This gets right into the second chakra, which is about our emotional life. Right? It might be tight there because it's emotional right now. But we can handle this moment. We can be emotional right now. We don't have to be more unstable because of the emotions. It could actually be a stabilizing force. If we just allow it to happen, just breathe. Inhale, lift up. The yoga practice is about releasing energy, directing energy. The emotional body is real. It affects everything that we do. So we need to come in contact with it and allow it to flow. Remembering the element for this second chakra is water. From here, you're going to inhale, bring your right foot forward. We're going to set it for a seated spinal twist here. And you can keep the knee bent as long as your right sit bone is still on the floor. If your right sit bone is really high up, straighten the bottom leg. That will correct your seat. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right side. Hook elbow to the outside of the knee or just hug the knee in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist for 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, open the twist a little bit more for 5. Inhale, come center. Counter twist a little bit to the other side. And then we're going to set up for ankle to knee pose. So left shin will be on the bottom. Keep the foot flexed as a way to protect your knee. You're going to stack right shin on top of left. For whatever reason, you're feeling tight, maybe knee issue or hip issue, prop up the right knee. That feels really good for me. And then you could stay here, upright, breathing. If you want to go a little bit deeper, inhale a breath. Exhale, walk the hands forward and hold here. Inhale. And exhale again. Gets right into those hips, right? They might be clinging because of the emotional environment we're in. But use the breathing as a way to bring in some easiness, some letting go. Be a witness to that struggle within. Be a witness to that tightness within. Allow it to just shift a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit of consciousness moving. Just a little bit of emotion opening up. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up. From here, we're going to swing the right leg around behind. We're going to tuck the toes under, hands forward on the mat. Step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Option to stay here or go through the vinyasa on your own, like breath and movement. Oh, it feels good, that upward facing dog. Okay, exhale back. And then we'll try the other side. Let's see. That was left shin. So inhale the right leg up. Is that right? No, it's the other way. Yeah, no, it is, because we did left first for the twist. Okay, inhale right leg up. Keep the weight equal in your hands. Drop some weight into the back heel. From here, open the hip. Bend the knee, open it out to the side. You can look underneath your armpit. I see Buddha. I see Jesus, baby Krishna. I see Mary. So many ways to remember God. And then straighten the leg, square the hips, inhale, roll forward to plank position. Bring your right knee towards your nose, and then bring your right shin as close to parallel to the front of the mat. You know, even here, I feel pretty good in my seat, but I'm still gonna just be consistent and prop up this side as well. Give me a little bit of cushion, a little bit of support. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk the hands forward, you know, and just show up for yourself. Whatever tightness you feel in the hip, just bring some breath and awareness there. Don't have to force anything muscularly. Better just to be bringing awareness there and breathe into it. And then over time, you'll find some opening, some release. Maybe some tears will fall. All part of that emotional body working, helping us to be whole again. When I was driving home from work last night, inhale, lift up. You know, I ran right into the 10,000 people protest in San Francisco. And you know, I wasn't upset. Let's set up for student spinal twist. You know, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit in traffic for a little bit. And as I kind of calmed my mind down, I was in more support. I honked my horn friendly a bunch of times to support people. I decided I would just head up, turn around, head up Market, and cut through the Castro to get back to the mission. It was totally fine. I felt like whatever I need to do to help support what we're going to do right now in this conversation. And I can be stuck in traffic. I can take a little time just to be supportive. Let's take a twist from here. If the left hip's up really high, just straighten the bottom leg, inhale the right arm up. Exhale. Take your twist. Inhale, come center. Exhale, twist the other way. You know, it's amazing. I began to reach out to some new friends yesterday. I was reading what they were posting, which is helping educate me a little bit more of this conversation we're in. And I friended them, and they accepted my friend request, several people. And, you know, part of my new awareness and my new family members. And I want to understand what it feels like every day to wake up in this world we live in, and to see that there is inequality and discrimination, and that I can help bear witness to that and be a part of that, and not just turn it off when I feel like it. Let's inhale a breath here. Exhale, folding forward. If you need to, prop up that knee again. I'm so grateful for Jivamukti Yoga being a spiritual yoga school which whole emphasis is on spiritual activism. Or we're not just coming to talk about anatomy. We're not just talking about flexibility. But instead, we're going into the heart of what's going on in the world today. The thing I love about Sharon and David is they've always put Ahimsa first and foremost right in front of the practice. They never waver. They never tire. They're always joyful and enthusiastic on the subject. And that's contagious, just like this verse says. When someone is firmly established in nonviolence, people that come around them will also feel that and let go of their hostilities. And I've really witnessed that with Sharon and David for a long time now, and Ruth and all of my teachers. My wife Amanda is that way as well. My children are that way as well. Maybe that means I'm moving in that direction as well. Inhale, come up. Trying. I try every day. A little less violent in the world in my words, thoughts, and deeds. Tuck the left toes under. Step the right leg back. Downward facing dog. Okay, just checking the time. Shake the head out here. Flubber the lips. Okay, so at this point, if you're my student, you've been coming to class for a while, you know that we practice handstand all the time. So if you're at home and you've been practicing at home for the last 3 months, it's time to establish a place to do handstand, whether it's your half pose or full pose. You want to come to a wall. All right, so I got this wall right here. I'm going to bring my fingertips about 6 to 8 inches away. I'm going to bend one knee. I'm just going to practice hopping an inch or two off the floor. Okay? If I want to come all the way up, I'm going to think of the pose. It's downward facing tree pose, and I'm going to activate everything in the body to lift up. So inhale, come to the wall, and then push into the hands and feet, squeeze legs together. Choose your gaze, place, and breathe. For 5 breaths, come down lightly. Rest in child's pose. And let go. You know, the inversions are all about turning our life upside down in a controlled environment where we feel safe. So we can establish our practices, our breathing, our gazing, our remembering of God. So when we go out into the world later after our practice, we've already established some steadiness in being turned upside down. So if the world tends to do that, we're going to be okay. Let's try it a second time. If you want to use the wall again, you can use the wall. I like to not use the wall, so I'm not going to use the wall. And then you can switch feet. You can bend the opposite knee. You can hop an inch or two off the floor. Come all the way up. After about 5 breaths, come down, and whatever you found, let it go. Right, get beyond the posture, get beyond the handstand, and just breathe. From here, we're going to come and sit up. You can sit to the side of the heels, swing the legs forward, and we're going to set up for Paschimottanasana, forward seated bend. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Take hold of something here. If you can't reach the feet, be creative with a prop, towel, a shirt, a strap if you have one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lead with the heart, fold forward. Slow down. Don't be in a rush. If you get uncomfortable mentally or physically in the posture, it's okay. Practice being there. Breathe. Slow down. And your next inhale, lift up. From here, we're going to come into our bound cobbler's pose. You're going to bend your knees in. You're going to release your knees out to the side. Take your thumb to the insides of your feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Hold and breathe here. On your next inhale, come up. I had this really amazing idea yesterday. I said, what if we continue our peaceful protests all the way up to November 6th? Right? We continually to hammer BLM movement. We continue to hammer nonviolence. We begin to hammer in there this conversation of acceptance, of love, of tolerance. That'd be pretty amazing. And then it could just be like your nightly routine. You know, you get out a little exercise, go gather with your community and walk side by side. People of different ages, different backgrounds, different colors. That would be amazing. So I don't know if that's where we're headed, but that'd be pretty cool. All right, from here we're going to move into compass pose, one of my favorite poses. You're going to start by first straightening the left leg and bringing your right shin into the crooks of your arms. Any way you want to do that. Find a way that you can just sit up tall and bring the shin in a little bit closer. You could rock the hip a little bit from side to side. All right. And then we're going to complete the rocking. If this is enough on your hip, just sit up tall and breathe. Be patient. Don't feel like you have to do anything. If you're ready to move into your compass pose, you're going to bring your right knee as high as you can on top of the right shoulder. Okay? Right knee as high as you can on top of the shoulder. Going to catch the outer edge of the foot. You're going to bring your right hand out the side as kind of a counterbalance. And then you're going to open the leg up towards the ceiling. You know, sometimes we feel lost. We don't know where we're going. Compass pose. You can get the foot behind the head to do that. But this is the pose that reminds us. We can look to others to show us the way. We can look to others to bring us in the right direction. This is that moment. This is that conversation. Right? Black lives matter. They always have. We've just chosen, some of us, not to look at it completely. It makes me really admire Colin Kaepernick that much more for what he had done that year, his last year at the 49ers. What a beautiful, brave, silent, peaceful statement he made. Thank you, Colin. All right, from here, we're going to take it a step further. I'm going to switch directions again so you can see. You can recommit the knee a little higher up on top of the shoulder. You're going to place your hands on either side of your hips. You're going to inhale, lift everything up. If you can, you're going to cross the ankles and bring the legs over to the side. Take a few breaths here. If you want to jump back through, got a little more gas in the tank, go for it. And then release the legs down. Everyone, just take a moment, pause in action. Okay? To find our way is difficult sometimes. But if we slow down and begin to witness, we're going to find our way. Try the other side. This time, left shin comes into the crooks of the arms. Any way you want to do that. Just rock the hips a little bit from side to side. And then you're going to bring your, get ready for the other side. You're going to bring your left knee as high as you can on top of the shoulder if you're moving on. Take hold of the outer edge of the left foot with the right hand. Left hand out to the side. And on the exhale, begin to straighten that left leg. Right? Mine's not that pretty, but it's okay. My intention is there. My effort is there. I'm still over 50. My body isn't what it was 20 years ago when I started my practice. And that's okay. Because it's beyond the asana. It's not about perfecting action in that way. The action we're trying to perfect is in our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. Perfecting our non-violence. All right, you can rebend the knee. We're going to take it a little bit further. Keep the knee high on top of the shoulder. Hands on either side of the hips. Flex, point the feet, lift everything up. Stay here. Or cross the ankles, bring the legs over to the side. If you have a little more gas in the tank, lift up, shoot the legs back through chaturanga, or just release the legs forward. Give the legs a little movement here. Whew. And then we're going to come into tabletop next. Bend the knees, feet are about hip distance apart. Bring your hands on the floor behind you. On an inhale, lift the hips up. You can keep the gaze forward, drop the gaze behind. Hold and breathe here. And exhale, release down. You know, this summer we're talking about what we can do, kind of like home summer camp for my daughter Gloria. And so I ordered some books on the BLM movement subject, and that's gonna be part of one of our studies. And then I gave her one of my acoustic guitars, and I said I'm gonna teach her how to play music this summer, which she was really excited about, you know. So I'm excited. She's in there right now playing the guitar that I tuned up for her this morning. I can hear it. So a lot to learn. I'm excited for these books to come so we can begin to read them together. All right, let's come back to downward facing dog. We're gonna place the hands on either side of the hips, bend the knees, cross the ankles. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, step, walk, or jump back. Slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Push through to a baby cobra. Through bent knees, push your seat to your heels. Come back, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, roll forward to plank position. You're gonna exhale, lower all the way down through chaturanga. Come onto the navel. You're gonna bring your forehead down. Shalabhasana, inhale, lift your head, chest, knees off the floor, come up. Inhale, 5, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release down. Turn your face to one side. Again, just take a moment, relax and let go. It's really important for us to treat our nervous system daily right now. In meditation, in the least, we have time for asana, do some asana. But we need to rest the nervous system so that we can be part of this conversation. All right, forehead down, bend your knees, Dhanurasana, bow pose. Take hold of the outside of the ankles. On inhale, lift your head, chest, knees off the floor, come up. Release down, turn your face to the opposite side. And just take a moment, relax, let go. Give thanks for your teachers. I realize I have a lot to learn from younger people right now. There's a lot of people that have so much wisdom in this movement. So I just need to be quiet and be a student so I can learn. Okay, second time, Dhanurasana, forehead down. Bend your knees, grab hold of the outside or inside of the ankles. On inhale, lift up. And after 5 breaths, release down, rest. When you're ready, you're going to turn over onto your back. We're going to set up for a half wheel pose. So just take a moment here. Again, we're looking for connection here. We're trying to establish a foundation that we can learn from. So for the half wheel, it's important. It's instructive. You can use a block here to support yourself if you'd like. If you're type A, maybe double A, triple A, it's nice to sometimes take the restorative variation. Don't always have to work so hard. So bend your knees, draw your heels closest towards the seat. On inhale, you're going to lift your lower, middle, upper back off the floor. You can interlace your hands here underneath you. Or you could take the block the long side down, place it right underneath the sacrum for support. And then breathe here. Try to keep some space around the throat. Don't close it off. If you have the block underneath, you can stay there, or you can remove the block. Everyone come down. Take a moment here. Think of the Vedic prayer we sang in the beginning of class. You can bring your hands to prayer. May all be free of sickness. That can be physical, mental, spiritual. Half wheel on your own, full wheel, hands alongside the ears, underneath your shoulders. On inhale, come to the top of the head to begin. Or you can come all the way up. Right? So top of the head, you can kind of reestablish hands and feet. And then if you're ready, come all the way up, 5 breaths. Chin in, gently release down. Just take a moment here and just pause. Be in receptive mode. Be in listening mode. May we look to the good of others. For a second, we'll hands to prayer, right between the eyebrows, place of seeing. Digging deep within to see the self in ourselves and see the self in others. Look to the good of others. Half wheel on your own. Full wheel, hands alongside the ears, underneath the shoulders. If you want to come through the top of the head again, do that. Or come all the way up, 5 breaths. And then the last line. May none suffer from sorrow. So, removing sorrow. It's okay to experience sorrow, but let's begin to remove some of that. I think that's a lot of what this movement is about. You know, a section of our country, of our planet, has been carrying sorrow forever. Now we want to kind of lessen the burden if we can. How can we help? How can we be in solidarity with our brothers and sisters? So finally, this will be for enlightenment, right? So that enlightenment quality, hands to prayer on top of the head. Help enlighten me. Help enlighten me to this situation we find ourselves in. Help enlighten me to practice ahimsa and nonviolence in my words and my thoughts and my deeds. Half wheel on your own. Full wheel, hands alongside the ears, underneath the shoulders. Come to the top of the head, or come all the way up. After 5 breaths, come down. You can draw your knees into your chest. You know, in this movement, it's important to have a strong back, because we're going to have to help carry each other. So you might think you're doing asana so that you have a strong back for yourself, but what if you started to consider you're doing the asana so that you have a strong back for others? That's what Patanjali is teaching us. That's what Krishna is teaching us in the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Jesus is teaching us in the Bible. All the holy books, Buddha, all directing us towards others. What are we doing for time? We good? Oh, we're running out of time. Let's take a little twist here. Knees over to the left. Bring your gaze over to the right. Feels so good. To release energy, to direct it in the body towards higher things. Inhale, come center. Exhale, knees over to the right. From center, we're going to do a very short 10-breath shoulder stand. If you just want to come into reclining goddess pose, bend your knees, bring the feet together on the floor, allow your knees to fall to either side of the mat. For shoulder stand, come to halasana. Bring your hands firmly on your back. Lift the legs up. Try to maintain a little space around the throat. Keep everything firm here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale a breath here. Exhale. Lower the feet overhead towards halasana. If your feet reach the floor, interlace hands. Draw arms long in one direction as you push the heels in the opposite direction. And release your hands, keep your head on the floor. Gently release down, join the others in reclining goddess pose as a counter pose. And let's do a little chakra exercise. You can rub your hands together, create some heat. And then place your hands on your heart. Anahata chakra, very big, expansive place in our bodies. That ability to give love right now is so important. Giving love in the form of being a student, of listening to the conversation, not having to bring in other outside issues or other causes. There's time for that later. Let's focus on this right now. Black Lives Matter. Hand on the forehead to connect the heart to the mind. Have patience. Have tolerance right now. You know, Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, be really hard on yourself in your action. You discipline yourself. You regulate yourself so that you can be good in your action, so that you can be kind in your action. Let others do whatever they need to do. Don't judge them. Don't expect anything from them. Instead, you expect from yourself more. Let them go through their spiritual growth. Let them find their connection on their own time and path. Give them room to make mistakes. Give them room to maybe be violent. But you instead, you establish yourself in nonviolence. And that way, people will be attracted to that. You know, Ruth said something very beautiful to me, which I didn't consider ever really. I told her how we were doing here in San Francisco and how we were having this conversation. And she said, well, you know what, Jeremy? That's the thing that people really like about you, is that you're approachable. It just sounded really good to me. It's like, I want to be approachable. I want to create a place for people to come in. I don't want to put people out. From here, you can bring both hands back onto your heart. Inhale a breath here. Exhale. From here, you're going to take your hands to the outsides of your knees. Bring the knees together. And then set up for your final relaxation. Just going to go a couple of minutes over today. Apologize for that. Shavasana is so important. You know, we take all this time to raise our consciousness, to bring awareness to the energy in the body. It's important at the end, again, place yourself in the seat of a witness here in corpse pose. Spread out completely. Turn the palms to face up, a gesture of surrender, of letting go. And just witness and watch. Allow the body to breathe itself now. So I suggest you stay in Shavasana. Or if you're going to come up and sing with me a little bit, you could do that and then take a longer Shavasana after we sign off here. This is a prayer to Krishna and Radha. It's about love. It's about increasing our love. Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Govinda Radhe Radhe Shyam Gopal Radhe 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 Radhe. Radhe 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 Shyam Govinda Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then bring our hands to prayer in front of our hearts. We give thanks to all of our teachers, our new and old, current and future, especially the inner guiding teacher, the Sadhguru, bowing forward. Om Bolo Sadhguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Inhaling to come up. Nice to see all of you. Hope you have a great day. Homework, 20 minutes meditation. And if you ever want to reach out to me on social media, Facebook, Messenger, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel now. I've been posting yoga classes. Thanks to all of you for showing up today and being part of this conversation. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.